bro?
Yeah, I
You
was
got your
tagged out
storytelling
there.
cap on?
Little yeah, I do. Right here. This is
Perfect.
great.
Perfect.
Beauty.
Let's hear a little
Um
story then.
I tagged out on my doe tag on Friday.
Perfect.
Was it, it was
Yeah.
Friday, right? Yeah,
Yeah.
Friday. Um I sat basically the same spot for a week straight. I took a week off of work and lots of stuff on camera consistently. Like there's a
Yeah.
couple bucks in there cruising around doing their thing. And there was a group of like 3 or 4 does, and I had my heart set on taking a buck for my first whitetail. And
I get it.
yeah, you know what I mean. And then, we got to the end of October, we were into November, and I was talking to you boys and you and like Dave and Josh and a few of the other guys and Matt, and I was going, I kind of want to take a buck for the first one. Like I didn't really want to take a doe, and everybody's like, man, just take the doe, get the monkey off your back, get your first one out of the way.
Yeah.
Then you're good then, right? So finally I decided that morning that I was like, okay, if because I had seen those does well in the stand like 2 or 3 times while I was in there all week.
Yeah.
And they usually came in from behind me though. So I said that morning, okay, if anything walks by, that as long as it doesn't have a fawn, I'll take it, right?
What?
So I get up. I get up there around like 6:30, so I'm probably in the tree by 10 to 7 or something like that, which is about 40 minutes before legal light. And I get all settled away. Everything is done, and I literally turn off my red light, and I hear this crash through the bush in the darkness. It's not really light enough to see anything, but you see the one white tail, and you hear him take off, and you're like, fuck, all that time I spent setting up, and now I blew him out just by turning that light off. So they must have been just stood still watching me.
Yeah.
And so I was like, all right, it's fine. So I gave it like 15 minutes or whatever, and I put out a couple calls. And then I was in the midst of because Josh was asking me, he was like, hey man, how's it going or whatever. And I was like, I don't know, man, something feels different about this morning. Like the whole woods felt different.
Different atmosphere.
Like it was moving, like things were alive in there instead of it just being this desolate, quiet hardwood forest. And I was like, man, I got something's going to happen this morning. I got a feeling about it. And with that, I had copy and pasted the same message to you. I was going to send to you. It was like, something feels different. And I hear, and I look over, and right on the trail I was hoping that buck would come down, those 3 does come back. And I go, okay. So I jam the phone away real quick, and I try not to move too much, and I lift the bow off. And then by the time I get set looking at her, she must have heard a little bit of movement or whatever, because she stopped dead up and looked right up at me and stomped her foot. And then I sat still, and then she started walking again. And she walked probably another 10 feet or whatever. And I came to full draw, and I kind of at her twice before she'd stop up. And it happened so fast, man. I pulled through. It felt good. It looked good on the through the sight picture. And then I was like, and she took off, and you had that quick second of oh shit, did that hit? Because I didn't see blood coming out or anything like that. And then I turned around and watched her run, and then I watched her pile up within 80 to 100 yards. And I was like, sweet, that's good, because it felt perfect.
Yeah.
So I gave it 15 minutes. I crawled down out of the tree and walked over to find the arrow. And there wasn't a lot of blood, man. Right good where color, I shot her. Good color, but there wasn't a lot of blood on the ground. And but the arrow was full of red you could tell it was like real close to the heart, if not heart shot. But I lost the broadhead. I think it stuck in the tree because it went into the like under the roots, so it must have got lodged in there. But full pass through, and so I kind of walked up to find her, and sure as shit, she was there within like 80 yards for sure.
Yeah.
And right behind the shoulder, bottom of both lungs, top of the heart, out the other side. So
Perfect.
she didn't go like any. She couldn't get any air in the lungs. She couldn't get nothing, right? Like, but yeah, it felt good, man, to be at, like, do it again after so many years of not hunting. I mean, I've been here 4 years. Last year was the only year we started hunting again.
Started going back out, yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it was real nice to know that I hadn't lost yeah, my ability to stay calm enough in the moment that I can make a reasonable shot. And yeah, it was really good, man.
Good.
Really, because I didn't get like that super anxious feeling as like, you know, when you first are at it.
It's because it wasn't 160 inches.
Yeah, and I wonder if that's a big part of it. I wonder if it was like I was less excited because it was a doe, so I could keep a little calmer. And had it been like a bigger, like a decent buck or something, like would I have been more like fired up?
I would think.
I think so. I think I would definitely be a little more like, whoo, here we go. Like
Bambi's dad walks in as opposed to Bambi. You're going to get a lot more excited about Bambi's dad.
For sure. And, but yeah, and then, you know, I dragged it down the hill, cause there's a little creek down there. I was like, perfect. That way I'll be able to wash up at the end of it. I'll be able to clean the knife off if it gets gummed up. Like, and, I had to sit back a minute and go, you got to feel just, I'm going to do this and this and this and this and like walk myself through it before I started. Cause I went to like dive right in. I was like, nah, just
hang on
through. You haven't done this in a minute. Right. So, it all went well, man. You know, get up there. Unfortunately, I didn't have anything there to like split the rib cage or the pelvic bone, so I had to like do a little fancy knife work there, but all went well. No problems at all.
Etch it.
Yeah, a little something, right? Just to split. Even a big heavy knife would have done it, actually. It's they're pretty dainty compared to moose, brother.
Well, yeah, I know.
They're not. It was so funny because I remember like grabbing a leg and like pulling it over, and I went,
oh
man, if that was a moose, man, you'd never move that.
No, that
like
would just flick you right back over.
Yeah, just push you right back down, right? Yeah, so it was good. And then our boy Brendan from WB, I text him like all the boys and said, hey, you know, I got one down, and he lives real close by, and he's like, hey man, do you want me to bring like the sled and come in and help me drag it out and we can go butcher it? And I was like,
yes,
yeah, man,
I do.
That would be amazing, dude. Thank you. So a big thank you to you, buddy Brendan. I appreciate all the help, man. It was real cool. And I met some cool guys while I was there. And we got it all cut up and a little bit of stew meat and stuff, and backstraps, tenderloins. And I made backstrap and or a piece of backstrap and a tenderloin when I got home for me and Jess, and she loved it. And then I made stew the next day, and yeah, it was real good, man.
Sweet.
Turned out all right. I'm pumped.
Well, that's it. No, you got a whitetail under you.
I got one under me, yeah.
Yeah.
Now it's your turn, Dave's turn.
Tell me about it.
And then a buck. That's the big goal now. But you got to get out in the field, bro.
Oh, I know. I know. It's a long time coming.
It is, man. But you got good access to like some good private land, which is pretty sweet.
Yeah, it should be good for that.
I feel like that's going to make like a big difference in the fact, even though you have to wait, I think it's going to like work out. You know what I mean?
I think so. Yeah, I think it might happen a little easier.
Yeah,
maybe.
I don't think you'll have to embrace as much suck as
I don't think so. No, because like I mean, the stands that are in there, they've been in there for a long time, right? They just stay there. Yeah. They don't come out. So They're
Yeah.
established stands, so they should be pretty they should be pretty obscure by now to the local deer.
Yeah. Plus, you've got your climber to be mobile if you want to, if wind
Yeah.
changes or whatever, and you need to move or
Yeah.
whatever. So, I mean, I
Yes.
think you'd be good. I don't think you're going to have any problems.
I'm sure hoping not.
Yeah, I hope not too, man. Because we had a rough bear season. We only
Oh, it
really
was
got out. What was
brutal.
it? 2 or 3 times we got out.
Yeah. But yeah, that was rough, man. Like,
I think I got out 3 and you got out 2, right?
yeah, one set of pictures we come across over that whole span.
Yeah.
One set of pictures.
Yeah. So we had a rough bear season and a rough turkey season for that matter too. So
Yes.
a good whitetail season would be great.
Be very nice. I could
Yeah.
go for a moose right now.
Oh, dude, that's you know what
See?
I've had the hankering to hunt like hunt a caribou again.
Yeah, yeah. I always got a hankering for that.
Yeah, it's something about the rack, man.
I just want the walk, man.
Yeah, it's pretty great, isn't it?
I want that long walk.
Yeah,
Just want to
it's
walk all day and glass all day and
yeah. That's like the thing about like big game hunting like that is like you walk a bit, you stop, you have a chat, you look at some hillsides, you move on, or glass a bog, you move on. Like I don't know, I think it makes you feel like nomadic or something. Maybe.
well, it makes you feel a little bit more like when you get the animal, it was because of you, not
Yeah,
because the animal walked upon you.
yeah. I will say though, I will say I have a lot more appreciation for whitetail hunting
Oh, no doubt.
out of a tree now. And I can feel the little hook set in. I'm like, man, I could really like if I had some access to some good private property where I didn't have to worry about shit getting stolen,
That's the big one.
right? And I could like put cameras out all year and I could scout it all year and like know the deer movement.
Follow along.
Yeah. I feel like that would really set a hook in because I go, okay, I know where there's a buck here, I know where there's a buck there, I know how
Well,
they
then you're
move.
involved all the time, see?
Yeah. So it kind of there's like and there is a majesty to it like it's I don't know, it's like maybe it's a heritage thing like in the tree stand, you know what I mean? Like we always saw it when we were kids but never got a chance to do it. And it's like now I'm kind of feeling what it's about.
Yeah. Learning.
It's yeah. It's cool, man. It's cool. You're going to like it a lot, I think.
Oh, yeah. No doubt at all. I just want to go get a bear.
I know, man. Bears one of the yeah.
Wants bear. I like just the whole process of the bear hunt. All of it.
It's pretty sweet, isn't it?
Very much appeals to me.
Yeah, I agree, man. And it's definitely some of the best meat
Yeah, I think so.
for sure. Like even you just need literally to take a roast, put it in a roaster, a little bit of water and some onions and some spices, and then put it in on like 300 for like 6 hours.
Yeah.
And just let it break down and let it get tender. And man, it's so good, dude.
Yeah.
With a
Like
bit of buttered bread,
ridiculously.
like you would with everything.
I'm gonna bring down some fresh buns.
Ooh, that's a good idea.
Homemade buns.
What do you want to try when you come down? What do you want to do? Backstrap? Do you want to do a roast? Do you want to do a little bit of
Whatever.
both?
I'm down.
Want to do a roast, like I just explained how we do the bear, and then we'll also do grill or fry up a piece of backstrap.
Yeah.
Bro, the backstraps are a lot bigger in a deer than I thought they were going to be.
Yeah.
Like they're like
Longer, yeah.
yeah, and like they're about big around as a small coffee cup, probably.
Yeah.
I guess, or like that water bottle.
Like a pork tenderloin.
Yeah, same thing. Yeah, It's pretty sweet, man. Not much to tenderloins, but
No.
they're real small. They're pretty tiny. But yeah, we'll do
Yeah,
a roast.
I think that's gonna be the weirdest thing for me when I go to process my first animal. I'll be like, hey, wait a minute. Where's the
I
rest
bet
of
it's
it?
smaller. Where's the rest of it? Yeah, I don't know how much meat I got out of it. I wish I would have weighed it when I got home. Would have been a good idea.
Well, you
Be
haven't eaten
curious.
that much.
No, that's true. I could just do that and then add
Just
2 or
weigh
3 pounds.
yourself. Just weigh yourself and then jump on the scale with it all in your arms.
Yeah. I got one of those hanging weights.
Yeah,
Put it all
that
in a
too.
bag and
Yeah.
go from there. Yeah, maybe I'll check that out later on. But it's all in the freezer. I got a good neck roast out of it too.
Oh, sweet.
She's
Yeah,
good.
I don't
She's
know what
decent
like
dough.
I don't know what like an average whitetail doe weighs.
I don't know either, and I'm pretty sure they're probably similar to bucks in the fact that it does depend on the region.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
like you can get
Depends
some
on what they're
regions with
eating too.
some
Yeah,
bruisers, bro.
yeah. Thick
Like
boys.
I saw who was it posted one? It was down in Iowa for sure, and they posted one. I was like, fucking neck on that
Oh
thing
yeah,
on the rat. Like he was thick, dude,
yeah. Neck
and he had
like our
like this.
torsos.
Yeah, and he had this thick, straight up rack. It was bonkers, man.
Some of them are beefcakes, man.
Dude, he found like whatever food plot and like drove everybody else
Just
off it. And like,
ate everything
yeah, like,
while doing
Jesus,
push-ups
what
and
a size
squats.
of a fucking deer, man. I was like, holy cow. Pretty crazy.
So everybody's gone wild now, man. Everybody's starting to put out new bows.
Yeah, it's an exciting time of year, right? It's
Yeah,
like whitetail season, new bow season, like, and everybody's coming out with something, it seems like.
Bowtech's got like 3 or 4 new ones out.
Yeah. And dude, did they not do what we said they should do with the Carbon One?
Absolutely.
33-inch
33-inch.
axle to axle. They didn't take the weight out of it like we
No, but
kind of hoped, but
they got this now. They got their own proprietary quote unquote bridge lock system
okay.
for their sight.
Was it? Is
Different
it?
shape though.
Oh, it's just a different shape.
Yeah.
Oh, that's not going to be good. That means it's going to be like you have to
Unique.
buy the Bowtech insert.
Right now,
If
Black Gold's the only one doing one.
if they were smart, they would have put a universal one in that you could have mounted every sight to came with the bow.
Yeah, that's what MFJJ said, that they needed to do a Picatinny
Yeah.
because it's pretty much universal, right?
Yeah, and there's no patent on a Picatinny. Anybody can use it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they should have did. Because as soon as you start doing that specialized junk, where you have
You're
to
gonna
have the
drive
Bowtech one,
away the.
I'm out.
You're gonna drive away people that aren't at the upper echelon of spending money.
Yeah, if you've got piles, then it doesn't matter. But
Yeah, for the average guy, that's gonna drive him away.
I mean, I would just buy the bow and use the side mounts
Yeah.
because I could just buy a normal sight for the normal amount of money.
Yeah.
Like, unless the company making the sight, it doesn't cost more for the sight than the regular sight, which they
Agreed,
almost
yeah.
always do.
Yeah, but the problem is now there's only one manufacturer doing it. I mean, if you don't like Black Gold sights.
Yeah. Who knows, right? They
don't
probably
know.
have to license that to people, right?
Oh, I would assume.
Because that's what the big
They got
problem
the
with Matthews
Bowtech
is,
logo
right? Is
stamped right on it, so.
Yeah, they have like the patent on the rear mount system. That's why Matthews has their own specific one, and everybody else has a different one, and they won't license it to anybody.
Yeah.
Like, or it's vice versa. Maybe it's Quad that has it, whatever. But either way, if they don't license it to people, then that means you have to make 2 or 3 different mounting systems.
Yeah. That's why I do like the pick mount system, just because it's open use, right? Like,
I think Hoyt was smart to do that.
PSE too.
Yeah, PSE did it as well. Yeah, but that was the right way to go because everybody can use a pick mount.
Yeah, and Hoyt's got like a whole new lineup or something, isn't it?
Hoyt announced today that they've got something coming out on the 8th, which is not tomorrow, but the next day.
Yeah.
And it seems they said they have a new flagship aluminum, a new flagship carbon, a new cam system, new string system, whatever that means, and like new and improved go sticks and stuff like that. Some of the accessory stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think new limb pocket system as well. They said
Wider, 8
everything's
inches.
gonna be wider. I, do you want to make? Do you want to take a guess on whether or not you know how like PSE and Matthews kind of have the shorter limbs and they're kind of thicker,
Yeah,
like or wider? Sorry.
yeah.
And Hoyt's has been like a little narrower and a little longer for the
Mm-hmm.
most part. Do you think they're going to go to that shortened limb
No,
design? No.
no. Because I think part, especially for the aluminum risers, part of Hoyt's thing is you can so easily tell the shape of a Hoyt,
You can. It's yeah.
and that limb style is part of that.
Mm.
Right, that contributes very heavily to that shape. So I don't think they'll stray too far from that.
I'm curious. I'd like to see them go to the shorter limb because I like the look of like the
I do
shorter
like
limb
that
bow.
low, like not low profile, but I do like that short package.
Yeah, it just seems a little more compact, even
Yeah,
though the axle is 30 or 33 or whatever. It still just makes the bow seem a bit tighter, right?
yeah. Well, I mean,
Neater,
even like mine at
basically.
31, it's kind of like in the middle, and
Mm.
like because everything is so handy to itself as the riser. I mean, you
Yeah,
can buy the small bow cases and it fits in beautifully. Like,
yeah. And then what do you? Because they're doing a new cam system, so I wonder are they
yeah,
going
so
to?
because they
I
were
guess
HBX, right?
HBX,
HBX.
HBX Pro. But so if it's a new system, then that means they're probably stepping away from the HBX system
Yeah,
altogether.
yeah.
Um, which would be interesting because that was a real successful cam for them
It has been, yeah. They're
for a
quietest so
long time.
far too.
It's funny that this is probably the third year for the HBX cam, maybe. Yeah, third year, second
Oh,
year.
easy,
Third year, right? Yeah. Because it was on
easily.
The
Yeah.
Ventum Pro, the
Then the
Ventum
VTM.
VTM. Because, well, it might have been HBX or HBX Pro, but still HBX cam.
Yeah,
So 3 years. So, but Matthews has done their cam system. It's been the same for
a while.
5 years, hasn't it? It hasn't changed since.
VXR is when that.
Yeah, right?
Yeah,
It's VXR, V3, V3X, Phase
phase 4,
4, like
and the Atlas and all them other
the
offshoot
Atlas, all
ones.
that stuff. Yeah. So, like,
They all run the same cams.
yeah,
Just like the only real difference is the Atlas is much longer.
big. Yeah, it's bigger. But yeah, I mean, and yeah, I wonder if they're going to do a new cam system this year coming then. Because it's got to be, I mean, why change it? But at that point,
But if you're gonna unveil a whole new series of bows,
mm,
you're not gonna wait till next year to talk about the new cams. That'll be part of it.
but I feel like you haven't really, like, if you just look at the VRX line, like the family of bows, none of those bows really feel that different
Not really. Not a
because it's the
huge
same
lot.
cam.
Pretty much,
So
yeah.
unless you
There's
do
just
something
super
different,
minor tweak.
yeah. So I think that's why everybody likes those bows and switches to the newest one because they're getting a little extra
Yeah, and it's
out of the
familiar.
bow, but it feels very, very much the same.
Yeah.
So you're not like making these dramatic changes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
So maybe
seems
they
like
maybe
most of the changes from VXR to now Phase 4 have been auxiliary type things.
yeah, not changing the bow in general.
Yeah, we're going to change how things mount. We're going to change,
Yeah,
you know,
length.
limbs,
But
stuff like that. Like,
yeah. But they didn't. Yeah, you're right. They didn't change much. And
Not
then
really. Not in the real
P-
functionality of the bow, you know.
no, yeah, exactly. PSE also has something coming, or a couple things coming, probably
I would
in the
assume.
in the hunting lineup. Yeah, and then they've obviously already released their target, their Super X.
They've been like
Um,
doing like pretty consistent over the last 2 to 3 years with new stuff. Like
I like the
once you
direction.
pair all of their new bows plus the new knock-on bows,
Yeah, they got a
like
big lineup.
technically, man, PSE's lineup is huge.
Yeah, and that's just in their like top tier hunting bows. Like they still have their core line too.
Yeah, there's still like 4 or 5 bows in that.
But I think, yeah, PSE probably has like the most variety for you to
I would
still
think.
shoot a flagship bow,
Yeah.
but have different options, right? Which is pretty cool. And they've I like the new direction that they're going in with now that since they're under new ownership. Like they seem to be much more active.
Yes.
Like they're going after the market instead of like
Nobody
kind of.
fills up my feed more than PSE.
Yeah, that's what I mean, which is great. I love to see it because before you used to see not
Almost
much
too
from
much,
them.
though.
Is it almost too much?
It's almost too much. When
Yeah,
you're
but that's
going
because
through
we
the
know.
if you're going through the stories, though, and it's
Yeah,
just like tick, 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 just like 14, 15 stories all
I
stretched
know
in
they
one.
do.
You're like,
They
oh, I
do.
gotta click through all these.
Yeah, they do share a lot of stories.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Which is cool. I mean,
Yeah.
they're really mostly what they are is customers.
Oh yeah. They're
Most of it
sharing
is
like
customer
their
pictures and
customers and
stuff.
their base for sure,
Yeah.
100%.
Which is cool, but it's a lot.
Yeah, they've been nice enough to share some of my stuff, which is great. What do you think the new carbon bow from Hoyt's going to be? It's going to be all
RXX,
new.
man.
So no, I think they're stepping away from the RX.
Just call it something totally different altogether.
They said it's an all new carbon.
Yeah.
If you say all new carbon and you come out with an RX9 or an RXX and it's basically the same.
Well, the RX7 was an all new carbon.
Yeah, but it still ran the same cams. It still ran the same limbs. It was really just the riser design that changed.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right?
But again, I don't think Hoyt's going to stray too far away from their limb design. Wider pockets, maybe, stuff like that. But
Well, they're definitely going wider because everybody's going wider.
I know.
Everybody. They're gone so wide that now you need to buy new adapters for your press.
It's getting a bit wild.
But Last Chance has said all presses sold from here on out will already have the posts on there for the 3-inch instead of the 2.5. So good on them. At least they're not like selling you a press that's like, it's only good for half the bows on the market now.
Yeah.
So if you want to work on the other ones,
you gotta
buy this $400 adapter kit because that's how much we sell things for. When I bought my adapters for my limbs, I was like, oh my god, $400, man.
None of it's cheap, bro.
No archery stuff is cheap, no.
None of it. Veins, bit of glue.
I don't even know the veins are really what you would consider cheap.
I gotta tell you though, $30 I will say, for what veins are responsible for, they're pretty cheap.
They do a lot.
In the grand scheme of what we're doing here, they are pretty critical.
Oh, crucial.
Especially once a broadhead gets thrown into the mix.
Good luck.
So, I think bang for buck, it's definitely like top 3 things.
Yeah.
That's required.
Yeah, absolutely. I want to say, I should say thanks to Cruiser. They're one of my sponsors, so greatly appreciated that saddle was perfect and instrumental in
I guess it
getting
was.
that dough. It was I will say super comfortable the full week. I had no complaints, man. I was comfy the whole time, and
especially with that knee pad,
bro. what a game changer. I know it sounds silly, like it's like, oh, it's just a knee pad. So it's
not
just it's
just.
no, it's not. It's from Cruiser. It's like an oval, probably 8-inch, maybe 10-inch pad wide, and like 5 inches high, 6 inches high, maybe. And it just straps around the tree. It bends to the tree. It forms, and it's memory foam. It's about 1.25 inches thick, or 1.5 inches thick. And it's just, when you roll into the tree and put your knees on it to just relax for a minute, you're like, fuck, I could just stay right here, man. Like, this is great.
Sit here. This is good.
Yeah. I spent a lot of time just sat in that saddle.
Oh, yeah.
Just kicking back,
Sitting
knees
around
on
waiting.
the tree, man. All good. Way better than when I was trying to do it with no knee pad.
Yeah.
It was terrible. There's no way you can lean on that tree for very long with your bare knees on the tree. Or even
No. You'd almost had to bear hug the tree.
Like, I remember, I think what I was doing when we were bear hunting, I was just like straddling the tree.
Yeah.
Like, my legs were basically around it.
That's hard on the thighs, though.
Was also hard on the ankles because they're behind you now a little bit on the platform. So you're like, fuck, man. But no, ever since I got that knee pad, anybody buys a saddle, get a knee pad, or get a set of good knee pads to strap to your knees. Either one, doesn't matter. I'm sure a set from Home Depot would serve the purpose if you bought the right gel ones. But they're necessary if you're going to sit for more than an hour or two.
Yeah.
Like, if you're going to do a 5-hour sit in the morning, a 5-hour sit in the evening, like I was doing, gotta have it. Yeah. Gotta have it. It's so good. But it was, and I've got the XC saddle. It was real good on my back, man. Like, no problems at all.
That's that expandable portion, yeah.
Yeah, it's so good, man, to just pull that up a little bit. You're like, oh, this is great.
Takes that weight off.
Yeah. And FlexFletch was a huge help, obviously. They sent us some veins and stuff like that, and those things perform great.
I'm still surprised, man, for how small the SK2s are. The guidance that they give, like,
dude, they keep a broadhead real straight.
I know. It's just like, and I shouldn't doubt it because it's been around forever. But like, yeah, I don't know. They're just good, man.
Yeah, they're really good
veins.
Like, it's hard to beat, dude. Hard to beat. But yeah, so that all went well thanks to those guys. They were a huge help, instrumental. So we've got a pretty big announcement to drop.
We do.
Yeah. We've partnered with Vortex Optics.
We have
to do a giveaway in November for mid-season whitetail.
Yes, sir.
And in December for late season whitetail.
We sure have. That's 2. Count them 2.
2 giveaways. Will be, I guess, Wednesday when this drops. We'll be starting the first one.
Yeah.
So when this podcast drops,
post on Instagram for that.
Yeah, hit our Instagram for all the instructions on how to enter to win, and to see what's in the package. It'll be two decent packages, like basically whitetail care packages.
Yeah, good ones
for
your
mid and late season for sure.
I'm quite impressed with them. We came up with some good packages.
There's some real sweet stuff in there, man.
Yeah,
like real sweet stuff.
You want to
go through some of it here? Or do you want to use
some of the things that are? No, we'll wait. But I can use some of the things that are in there.
Shoot, yeah, some of that stuff, man, is pretty sweet. I was like, oh man, I wish we had some of this.
Yeah, they got
it's yeah. But we're gonna give it away to you guys, and hopefully we get 2 lucky winners. I will say, if you subscribe to the podcast already, or if you're listening and haven't subscribed, that will be getting you extra entries. You'll see how many once we put the post up. So. And tagging some friends will also get you some extra ones. So
few ways to get extra votes.
Few ways to get some extra ones, but some real sweet stuff from Vortex. You guys are gonna love it. So don't forget this Wednesday or today, because the podcast comes out Wednesday.
Because we're releasing it now.
Yeah. Head over to our Instagram full draw, and definitely read the instructions.
Yeah, it's gonna be good.
Yeah.
Like, I enter things like this all the time.
And hope to win and
never
do.
But
well, you won a set of broadheads from Crimson.
That is true. That is true.
That was the only one you ever won.
Yeah.
I think I won a set too, didn't I?
You did.
Yeah, I won a set of cleavers. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're great, by the way. That's what I used to shoot that deer.
Yeah.
I did not use the croc. I used the cleaver.
Yeah, I do like the cleaver a little better.
I think it's a better penetrating broadhead.
I think so, yeah. Like, don't get me wrong. I think for black bear, the crocs are probably a little better.
Well, they're heavier, or like not heavier, but like thicker.
Yeah, they're a little more robust.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. They're more robust. I think they'll perform very well on a bear.
Yeah. But I think for whitetail, cleaver is where it's at.
Yeah.
And like if I was to go for a moose, I would just bump up to like 150 grain cleaver.
Yeah, exactly. Just the closed up one. You know what I mean? Like the full head instead of the one with the weight taken out of it. But they're great. I got a full pass through with that sucker, so no complaints here at all.
No, those babies are good.
Yeah.
My favorite thing though, man, is like they actually have like a normal price.
Yeah, they're not like super crazy.
For as good as they are, they're not like wildly at a price. Because I've seen some fixed blades, man, where they're like $100+ for 3.
Bro,
it's like,
go buy a set of iron wheels.
Yeah, right? Like, what are we doing here?
Spend some money. I'm telling you.
They're like titanium or something, aren't they?
Tool steel.
Oh, okay. So A1
so they're
steel.
Like high tempered, high strength steel. But that's kind of what you want, man. If you're going to chase like any real big game, you kind of want like something that you're not going to roll an edge on.
Hippopotamus.
Bro, didn't Sarah Bomar just shoot a hippopotamus?
I don't know.
I thought I saw it on Instagram. I was pretty sure.
Maybe.
So that would mean both of them have shot a hippopotamus now.
That'd be a sketchy hunt, man, because hippos are not to be trifled with.
I'm pretty sure hippos are like the most dangerous animal on the planet, aren't they?
In Africa, they are.
Yeah, for sure. Like nothing fucks with a hippo.
No.
Right?
Nothing does, man. Lions are just like, nah, I'm good, bro. Do you think this is your water? I'm out.
Maybe rhinos are probably the only ones that might get into a little confrontation.
Yeah. But I don't think they're in the same regions. I don't think. I could be wrong on that.
No, they definitely are. I've definitely seen like some National Geographic show where there's like a rhino and a hippo at a watering hole. For sure.
Probably.
So what's the you got some new gear, didn't you?
Yeah. I picked up a new winter suit. So this is it's from Under Armour. It's the Rut Windproof set.
Yeah. For
it's kind of a weird name. It's the Ridge Reaper camo pattern.
Yeah.
The little more brown and black one, so it'll be a little bit better for fall. Super impressed with the fit.
Yeah, it fits nice, eh?
The fit and finish of it, the way like it's construction.
Yeah,
built
the way it's
very
shaped
well. Yeah. And it's cut very well. It fits my body quite naturally. Yeah. So it's very comfortable. I don't have to wear much underneath, which is super nice because it feels like I'm just wearing like a big sweatsuit.
Yeah. So I feel like you should kind of touch on a little bit because this is your first step into like high quality hunting gear.
Yeah.
Because as far as I'm concerned,
different.
Yeah. Once you get into like Under Armour and up, I think you're into like high quality gear.
Yeah.
And you're coming from like, what you running mostly Canadian Tire, like
pretty much exclusively
stuff back home, right? Like the York stuff or Yukon stuff, sorry. And
Yukon, Hunt Shield, Rocky, stuff like that.
Rocky was a lot of your stuff. Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
How does it feel, man, going from that stuff right to something like, because you've got some screed gear too now that you're running. for early season stuff.
The biggest difference that I'm noticing, and I noticed it right away, is I have, regardless of how many layers I have to wear far less clothing. This is my biggest difference. Like with the scree stuff, even when it was like 4 degrees in the morning and we were just sat still.
Yeah.
Like I had base layer, 2 pairs of socks, my scree pants.
Yeah.
And then like I just had a base layer top with a long sleeve shirt and my scree coat and a beanie. And I was good at 4 degrees.
Yeah.
Just starting to feel the chill on my thighs after like probably 2 hours of sitting.
Yep.
But I mean, if we were home doing that, I would have had my big old crappy bibs on and,
bro,
my big winter. Would have been bundled right up, right? With sweaters on and
100%. I remember, man, when I made the move, like when I went from like that Canadian Tire stuff, the Hunt Shield stuff's pretty good.
It's a good in the middle kind of thing, yeah.
From early to mid season, once you get into their cold weather gear, it is a little bit better quality than like some of the other Canadian Tire stuff, but it's still like that bulky, like full of that like synthetic insulation stuff.
Not
like
as good, see?
And it's you need a bunch of layers on under it, and usually thick ones. Like you're gonna need like a sweater and a base layer with a mid layer and a sweater, and then that stuff, and like you just feel unmobile, right?
Well, you remember that youngster from the movie A Christmas Carol in the red snowsuit?
Like just like the starfish walking.
Yeah, can't even bend your elbows, and that's no good for archery, folks. You need your elbows.
It's not that good for rifle, to be honest. No. You can't even feel the rifle on your shoulder if it's play straight.
And that's the thing, right? The mobility difference.
Yeah.
Like,
and just feeling like you're dressed normal.
Range of motion. Yeah, and I feel like I'm wearing what I would wear in the fall.
Yeah, exactly.
Just going to the mall. Like, I don't feel like I'm bogged down with like 3 inches of fluff.
Yeah, exactly. Because it was like, and then because I went from like that stuff to like the Badlands stuff.
Yeah.
And Badlands pretty good quality. And then even moving from, and then I think Under Armour's probably a step. No, they're probably in step with Badlands.
I'd say they're right along. The big thing with Badlands is the warranty, man.
Oh, it's lifetime.
And no explanation required. Just send it back. Here's a new one.
But I think that's the difference with those bigger brands like Sitka's the same way. They have like lifetime warranty on most shit. And then,
but I mean, you gotta think, man, on clothing,
that's tough.
Where you're gonna be in the woods.
Yeah, using it for hunting, which is like the roughest kind of.
That says a lot.
They trust.
We know exactly what you're going to be doing while you're wearing this, and we'll just replace it anyway.
Yeah. But if you're paying $650 for a set of bibs,
yes,
I feel like they better last a long ass time.
They fucking better be the last set you got to buy.
Yeah. I will confess right now that Fanatic gear that I ran
killer.
In -5, I never felt a drip of cold.
No, they're killer, man. This is awesome gear.
I was baffled. Like, you can wear it, like, I think I started wearing it at like 5 degrees. Without the bibs, just the pants. And then once it hit 0, I went with the bibs without the jacket, or without the bibs, just the jacket.
Coat. Yeah.
And then when it hit 0, I was like, I'll just wear both of it. That way I don't get cold at all. And I think the only thing that got like a little chilly was my feet. But it was blowing wind and nothing came through.
The main reason your feet got chilly is because you had pressure on them the whole time.
Yeah, and you're stood on a metal platform which radiates cold into your boot. It's not going to help. But yeah, man, it was like being in a little house wrapped around you. It was great. I was like, oh, this is.
Well, that's what I felt like when I got home. The picture I sent you, me in the suit.
Oh yeah.
Good Lord, I was like, man, oh man, I feel like I'm in a pillow.
Yeah, and like you're shielded from the whole world.
Yeah.
Like it's like it doesn't matter what happens right now. It doesn't matter how cold it gets. I'm good. Like, but yeah, I'm glad that you find a big difference. And I think once you get out in the field and you're like, oh shit.
Yeah, I can't like
much.
I'm looking forward to a morning where it's snowing and it's like -8.
And you're like,
and I just gotta sit still and not move. I want to really get the test then, because that's the true test, man. After you haven't moved for an hour and it's
in
minus whatever, that's the test if your gear is warm enough.
Yeah, because when you're moving, you don't need much on and you're fucking warm.
No, Jesus. When you're walking in, you don't even wear the coat to stand.
No, not at all. I had to open like the leg vents on my bibs and everything. Let air. I had to let all the heat out, man.
Yes.
But yeah, man, I think you're gonna get up there, and I think you're gonna be so comfortable that it's gonna take a little bit for you to realize and go, oh shit, I'm not cold at all.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Like normally, you know how like you're hunting and you're like, I'm not cold, but like I'm not comfortable.
Yeah, I'm not warm either.
Yeah, like I'm not
myself.
Sitting here like I can't handle this, but like I can still feel it. You know?
Well, that was like that coldest morning that we had when we went on the last bear hunt. The last morning we went, it was like rigid, and we were just like, "Oh, gee!" Like I come back, my leg muscles were getting a bit like stiff and that, from the wind blowing on them.
And when you get back, like the tops of your legs are cold, like icy cold, and you're like, "Okay, I was a little cold actually.
I was chillier than I thought I was."
But I was toughing it out, but I was chilly. Okay,
yeah.
Not gonna happen, I don't think, for you this time. I think
no, I don't think so. Especially where it also has that windproof layer in between the other layers of material.
Yeah, because it's got a Gore-Tex layer, right?
I think so. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Gore-Tex label,
or at least a windproof layer.
It's windproof no matter what. They even put that in the name.
Yeah, bro. I had a -4 morning and forgot my jacket.
Oh, that's stupid.
So I had my bibs on, my Fanatic bibs, my First Light base layer merino, and then my Fanatic hoodie, which is not that thick.
No,
and I was like, well, we're gonna try to get the morning hunt out of it, and then we're gonna jump in the truck. We're gonna drive all the way back, grab this jacket, and then come back for this evening hit or hunt. And I wanted to sit till 10:30 minimum.
Yeah.
And I managed to get till like 10. And I was like, nope.
Gotta go.
I was like, I'm so cold. I gotta go.
Yeah.
Can't stay.
That's why your nose is still red.
Yeah. Because I'm free. I was froze, man. I was froze that day. But I did get home, grab the jacket, and go back, and not to any success that day, though.
So. I think next fall I'm going to try and get the Cabela's version of the Crispies.
Oh, yeah? Oh, is it the Instinct line boot?
Yep.
Yeah.
And then they also, Cabela's still sells some Loas too.
Oh yeah, they've got some other like
one like that too, that style, like a Crispy.
Yeah, they've got some other boots there too that are supposed to be real high quality. Yeah,
they do have some good stuff.
Oh yeah, no. Cabela's brand has a lot of good stuff. Just, I feel like their cold weather gear is like
not quite cold enough.
It's stepping just outside that hunt shield.
Yeah.
Realm, like a little above, like somewhere in between that and Badlands. I feel like Cabela's in the Instinct stuff and what's the other one? Scent Lock. I feel like they're kind of in the same realm of one another.
Yeah, I do think Scent Lock's a bit expensive though.
I think it's roughly around the same price as the Cabela stuff though.
Maybe. I can't remember offhand.
Now, I don't know what their new BE1 stuff is like. Apparently, that's pretty good.
I don't know.
but I don't know. I mean, it's got a good wintry late season camo pattern to it. Because it's like that grayed out, very monotone.
Yeah, birch bark.
Birch bark looking, right? But I find the browns and the grays and the blacks work better this time of year anyway.
Yeah,
with all the leaves off the tree.
For sure. I think the two companies that do it best, for early, like for spring season hunting and fall season hunting, Badlands and Scree.
Yeah, they do blend well with both seasons.
Well, no, I mean like the two camo lines that each brand carries.
Oh,
so
okay.
Badlands has the Approach and Approach FX.
Yeah.
It's pretty green and spring-like, whereas the FX is more gray and brown. And then Scree has the, what are they called? I can't remember what they're called. They're camo patterns, but along the same line.
Summit and
Summit is the
Summit is the green and the greenish one, the one with the green and brown tinges to it, and then they have like a stone looking one that's better for like for has more grays and blacks and browns and stuff and whites.
Yeah, but I find them to kind of carry the best variety for the two ends of the seasons.
I think Sitka does a good job.
I don't know enough about Sitka. I always just ignore them because they're so ridiculously priced.
They are expensive. Their subalpine stuff is real good for like the leafy green time of year, like spring and stuff like that. And then their Elevate camo pattern is real good. Like it's that grayed out version, like the Fanatic stuff is, right? But I think Numa's is the best for like any greenery and like green, brown, black tones. I think Numa has the best
if you're in
pattern.
like a evergreen forest,
if we were hunting back home, I think Numa's pattern would be unreal in that woods, man. I think you'd disappear. But Screes is not bad as well. And then I think you're right. I think Badlands is both their camos are good for both times of year. So yeah, I agree, man. But like you say, Screes or Sitka is so expensive, man.
I know it's just so much.
It's tough to get around, but it works though. Is the problem, right?
Like right? Like I'm not going to say that it's not good, super high quality gear, but I look at that the same way I look at UltraView.
Yeah,
it's nice. It's nice to see how good it can be, but like, it's not usable for me, so I don't even really like include it in the conversation, right?
Yeah, true enough. Yeah, and. What was there's First Lights is good too, right?
Yes.
Like First Light is good. Both their camo patterns are real good too, man. But First Lights, I mean, you're in the realm of Sitka money, right?
Absolutely. What's the one that Jackal started again? Because that camo pattern is redonkulous.
Origin, yeah, it's really good, right?
I love that one.
Yeah. Origin stuff is great, man.
That one that has like the multiple greens with some brown and black. And it's kind of almost like wavy pattern, but horizontal. Oh, man, that thing looks
so great. Yeah.
So, I mean, make sure everybody keep an eye out for that post that's coming on Wednesday. Well, right now. It was out this morning.
Yeah.
You're listening to the show. It's out. It's right now. Go. So, check it out. Be fast. Get your thumbs nice and hot. Touch the screen. Swipe, like, do the thing.
Follow the instructions in the caption. And
many ways to earn votes.
Yeah, and then
not votes, entries,
and keep an eye out for the December giveaway as well. That will be coming shortly after the November mid-season giveaway.
Yeah, about probably 2 weeks after.
Yeah, something like that. So, okay, folks,
Christmas
thank you. Yeah, exactly. Thank you very much for listening. Head on over to our Instagrams. I'm CJ DiBattista, Full Draw Podcast.
Brother 83.
And be sure to follow us and subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss an episode. Thank you and good night.
Love ya.